You ever notice how weird things are getting in public?
He f***ing nutted on my leg. You go to hell. Oh my god.
I mean, like weird.
Hi, how are you? Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave. Unacceptable.
Like, people are straight up getting caught jorking it in public, pulling down pants at drive-thrus, stripping in cafes, and then when it blows up, they act surprised. Now listen, Nautica Malone was just the latest, but it feels like a part of a growing trend. Everyone's getting way too comfortable being freaky in public, and I fear that we are beyond the point of no return. Now listen, I've got no problems with you being freaky. Do what you do, whatever you like. If you like that and it's consensual between the parties and the things that you're doing it with, then by all means, have fun, right? And obviously legal. That's gotta be one of the main things, right? Legal, probably doing a lot of heavy lifting there. But listen, if you wanna be consensual and do legal freaky shit, go for it, fam. Like behind your own closed doors, go for it. But in public, nah, y'all gooners are going too far. What's going on, MDR fam? It's your boy Serge, and today we're doing a follow-up on Nautica Malone. We're gonna cover what happened after he got caught, or after his goonicide. We'll cover the fallout too, but mostly I wanna cover some of the things that I'm seeing and what I'm coining as the Gooner epidemic. Because Malone isn't just a one-off, and there's so many stories lately of people behaving in public in ways we used to reserve for private moments. Now y'all just doing that shit outside. Like, why? It's funny, it's wild, and yeah, maybe a little worrying. Stay with me because we're going deep. All right, so quick recap for those who missed it. Side note, I made a video about Nautica Malone about 7 months ago. I highly suggest you check that out. But if you want the TLDR, stick with this one. Nautica Malone, 27, from Tempe, Arizona, pulled into a Bikini Beans coffee drive-thru without pants on, waist down.
Hi, how are you? Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Call 911.
His shits was down by his ankles, fam. Down by his ankles. Allegedly exposing himself to the barista. The barista filmed it, asked him to leave, called the manager, and then boom, the video goes viral, right? Now, the next day, Malone decides to delete himself. People have actually coined this and have called it a goonicide. Y'all look crazy. But Malone decides to remove himself from Earth by a gunshot in his car. Obviously devastating and obviously tragic. Dude had a whole family. They didn't know he was a gooner to this level, but he had a family. Now for some, this hurts to talk about, but it's what pushed this into the public conscious. People reflecting on shame, exposure, and humiliation. Now, what I also find crazy is that they've made this man like a goon martyr, so much so to the point where they call him a gooner, and also they had a vigil for him.
When I say his name, you say Nautica. Say his name! Nautica! Say his name! Nautica! Nautica!
Crazy, I know. People make the weirdest things causes, and I just find it to be strange, but let's continue. Now, the term gooner even got coined, right? People mocking it, people using it as internet slang, and it shows how quickly public shaming and memes plus tragedy can mix. Now, here's what I want to point out. Malone's behavior was extreme, tragic, and ultimately he paid the cost, right? But he wasn't the only one getting caught doing freaky stuff in places where people don't expect that. The reality is, the Malone case just put a spotlight on something weird that feels like it's getting more common. And I mean that. This shit feels like it's getting way more common, and it's strange to me that it is. Now, on the topic of weird shit, I talk about stuff like this all the time, so if you dig content that talks about social dynamics, dating, relationships, and gooner activities, make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. We're on the road to 10K subscribers, and we're less than 200 away from making this a 10K community, and I want you to be a part of it. Now, remember when I said Malone wasn't alone in his goonerism? And I mean, let's be honest, doing freaky things in public has kind of always been around, right? I'd like to think the reason why we see this become so much more common is only because we have cameras at, at our beck and call. You know, someone's got a phone somewhere, so they're always gonna be recording something. But I gotta be honest and say, I'm not gonna lie, with Malone being in the spotlight as a gooner and becoming a goon martyr, I can't believe this is a real sentence I'm saying. It's strange to me at how recurring this has come. Let's talk about a couple of those stories. We got an NYPD sergeant caught in a Penn Station bathroom during a sting. So in other words, this was like a planned event, right? Like the police knew this was gonna happen. So to some degree, the sergeant also knew this was gonna happen. NYPD sergeant caught in a Penn Station bathroom during a sting, jorking it with other dudes. Look, if you want to jork it with other dudes, go ahead and jork it with other dudes. That's your thing, right? But jorking it with other dudes while you're on the clock, I don't think that makes a lot of sense, buddy. And also, especially wild because he's a public servant. not in that sense. Man, the puns in this video is just wild. Not in that sense, but you know what I mean. Like, you know, he's an officer, he's walking the beat. All right, let's talk about the next one though. So then we got this cab driver in Delhi. Now listen, oh gosh. Now listen, I fuck with Indians. I appreciate Indian culture, and I appreciate just what they bring to the, I guess you could say, cultural table, right? Not everything, but some things. And that goes for anyone, any ethnicity. So don't try to use this as a hot mic moment to try and make me sound like I'm racist. I'm not. But I gotta be honest, the way some of you guys handle interactions with women is a little concerning. With that being said, in a weird way, this don't surprise me. Cab driver in Delhi allegedly caught in a cab while a 22-year-old student is a passenger. Yeah, I'm sorry, listen, that's weird. I'm not gonna say anything else outside of that, but that's weird. You know, it's funny because public gooning seems like an equal opportunity for everybody, even women. But we got another one here. A man on a beach in Queensland, Australia, full nude. Bro was out, like just everything, just chilling. Bro was he was in all his glory. The wind hitting every single crevice that body had. Full nude, jorking it while looking at women. Listen, excuse my French, you niggas are crazy.
What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
Out here, full nude, locking eyes with a complete stranger, jorking it. I know that there's arousal and then there's horny, right? But like anything beyond that seems dangerous, because my question is, how strong is the urge for you to let one rip that you feel it is absolutely necessary for you to stand in full nudity in public, watching other strangers live their normal ass life, and you're pumping it? Yo, what's wrong with you niggas? Oh God. So needless to say, the lady caught him, right? Because they're making fucking eye contact, and the police are obviously investigating. Personally speaking, what is there to investigate? You were outside, you were jorking it, you got caught jorking it, and now you going to jail. Now listen, you think those were crazy? Even at big events, niggas at work, like clocked in. A security guard at a Chargers game getting caught doing a lewd act in front of fans and cheerleaders. Public place, people present, disgusting. Why? So what's the common thread? Public settings, sometimes with strangers, which is crazy to me, often filmed or witnessed, and the reaction is always the same: shock, mockery, shame, and viral spread, because people are reacting to how exposed someone is physically, socially, and emotionally. And to be honest, if I had to assume anything, like I'm not a psychologist by any means, but if I had to assume something, I think a lot of people that do this, men in particular, are in some various degrees touch-starved, right? Like affection. Some men are starved for affection. Some men are starved for attention. And of course, this could be applicable to women, but I gotta be honest, there's not a lot of women out here doing the shit that y'all niggas is doing. And listen, there are women out here that are doing stuff like this, but for the most part, it's a lot of dudes that are out here just jorking away. I think guys, especially with the data coming out that men are having less sex overall, I think this is some of the ways that is coming to fruition. Now, I'm not sure what Nautica Malone's case was. I think for him, he was just caught up in the lust. And that's another thing, which is a great segue. Because to be honest with y'all, I think because of how sexualized society has become, not to say that it's a bad thing to an extent, I think that requires a completely different conversation, but I'm not saying sexual liberation is wrong, but I think sexual liberation when performed in these ways are absolutely incorrect, right? And that goes for both parties, but you know, more men are doing this than women. That's all I'm saying. And listen, if you like deep dives on social dilemmas and dating, relationship, or just, you know, the goon epidemic, if you like hearing people talk about shit like that and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. I want you to be a part of this community because I like talking to you guys and I like creating these kind of conversations that in turn will help grow the community and we can all learn from one another. Moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, listen, if you need to bust one, bust that shit in the crib. Don't be out here like on the train tracks, in a fucking public bathroom, out here jorking it with your homies. Bro, if that's what you want to do, invite them over. Like, have them come on over. You know, like, you don't have to do this in your uniform. You know, you don't have to be at work at a Chargers game jorking it because you're at the nosebleeds and you're bored. I think all of us need to come to some sort of realization that humans are sexual beings. And personally, I think the rate at which people are having less sex is actually a detriment to our society as opposed to a benefit. I don't know, that's a long conversation. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. And if you made it this far, I already said it, but I'm gonna say it one more time. Hit the fucking subscribe